Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to Red Steam Radio, a Dead by Daily podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Maddie, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts, Bryson and Stevie. Hello, guys. Happy New
Howdy.
Hi,
Year.
everyone.
Yep,
Welcome
welcome to
back.
26. How's
Happy
everyone
holidays.
feeling today?
Feeling good.
I'm also feeling exceptionally great. Had some wonderful interviews today and played a lot of PTB and super excited to see this chapter come to life.
Yes. So, if you guys don't know, today we're going to be talking about the new PTB and the Stranger Things Part 2 chapter, which has 11, Dustin, and the first, Vecna 2. A little weird that he's called the first when he's the second, technically, but
We'll
we don't judge.
make enough jokes about that. Don't worry. I know we're all itching. At least I am.
Yeah, we all have that itch. Don't worry, Stevie. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. But before we do, we have some housekeeping. For our viewers and listeners, guess what? We're going to be giving a $30 gift card for your gaming platform of choice. So that's Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, etc. And you guys can enter this giveaway by filling out a forum in our description for a satisfaction survey. So we're going to be asking questions like, how do you enjoy the podcast? What would you like to see changed? Would you like to see other forms of content from Red Steam Radio? And stuff like that. So we want to hear directly from you guys, and we would love to know how we can improve, what we're doing well, what we aren't doing so well. And we're going to give it to you straight because we want to improve our content and maybe even make more content. Oh,
Maybe.
hint, hint, wink, wink. Oh,
And this survey means a lot. We want to hear straight from y'all because it's
Yeah.
kind of like we're not doing this as like a giveaway. Please interact with us. Just follow, and you might get your winning ticket. No, it's like we only want to give it to the people who actually care to give us your feedback. So please fill it out honestly, just from your heart. How you like this podcast? How you heard about it? And you will honestly. We have $30 to give away.
exactly. Could be for Nintendo eShop if you want it, or
Yeah.
Steam.
Yeah, any platform.
It could be whatever you want. For our winner, we will be sending an email to the winner, which will be in February. So you have the entire month of January to fill out the survey and to get your entry into the giveaway. And we'll be announcing the winner specifically in the first week of February.
Yep.
Additionally, Halloween is going to be leaving Dead by Daylight.
Rip.
No.
I'm making a really sad face right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Myers, aka The Shape, Laurie Strode, and Haddonfield are going to be leaving Dead by Daylight for now, starting January 18th. So if you really want to get those characters or their cosmetics, you should get them now before the 18th of this month. However, if you're worried about perks, don't worry because they'll be entering the general pool that will be free for everyone, regardless if you own them or not, after the 18th. I believe it will be exactly the day it ends. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It might be the next update. But generally, until Halloween ever comes back, maybe it won't, the perks will be available. So Decisive Strike, Save the Best for Last, Dying Light, all those good perks. They're going to be available for you guys who don't own Halloween or not so interested in Halloween.
Yeah.
If you would have told somebody 8 years ago in DBD's lifespan that Decisive Strike is now a general perk, they would laugh at you and say that's a joke. That's a fake patch note. And I would say it's for the saddest reason possible.
Yeah.
It's because they lost Halloween.
It's so sad.
It's so sad because it was the first one, and now he's
know.
leaving, and she's going with her. And Haddonfield, I don't like Haddonfield, but I don't want to see it leave.
Right.
I'm going through every stage of cope. I'm like, well, any chapter would have been the first one. They would have got someone eventually, but then I'm like, no, it's Michael. He's special to me. Laurie was my first licensed DLC. I wanted to play her so bad.
Yeah, they got the quintessential slasher for the slasher game. It was just an incredible moment for it. And as you mentioned, Stevie, Halloween, I bought Halloween alongside the main game. So Laurie was my main for the longest time early on. So yeah, it just sucks. It sucks to see it go, but pick it up before you don't have that chance because you'll regret it if you don't.
Yeah. However, it could come back like Stranger Things did, and even more unrealistic it could have a part 2, like the Stranger Things Part 2 PTB that released today as of recording, which is January 6th, but for you guys, it will be January 7th, again, Wednesday. So, let's talk about it, because there's both a lot, but also kind of not a lot. It'll make more sense when we go into the episode, but let's first get into the Stranger Things stuff, that being Vecna, aka the First. So, let's read his power together, guys. Special ability, Vine Attack. Press and hold the power button to charge a Vine Attack. Press the attack button to activate it, creating a small area of effect on the ground. Any survivors caught within the area of the Vine Attack earned a World Breaker token. Now, you might be thinking, what's a World Breaker token? We'll get to that. Special ability, the Upside Down and the Undergate. The killer, aka the First, can enter the Upside Down to navigate the map quickly by tapping the ability button. While in the Upside Down, the killer can activate an Undergate attack to return to the map, casting a large area of effect on the ground. Survivors caught within its radius gain 2 World Breaker tokens. Special condition / item, World Breaker, and Grandfather Clocks. Once a survivor has gained enough tokens, World Breaker activates, and the World Breaker timer begins. While World Breaker is active, both the Vine attacks and Undergate attacks do damage to survivors instead of adding World Breaker tokens, and 4 Grandfather Clocks activate. World Breaker lasts for a predetermined amount of time based on the number of survivors alive. Survivors can interact with the Grandfather Clock spread around the map to speed up the World Breaker timer. So, thoughts on that? Because it's kind of a bit.
Yeah, to put it in, I guess, simpler terms, he plays similarly to, I don't know, Unknown, or even Freddy, old Freddy maybe, where he has to weaken you, per se, or like bring you into this other world. All he has to do is do those 2 tokens. He has to hit you with his AoE secondary attack, which is like the big, where he goes into the ground and comes up, and it's a big, much slower AoE attack. Or he can do that much faster, smaller area attack. And all he has to do is hit you once with the big one, or twice with the other one, or multiple survivors. And you'll go into that kind of world. It's interesting, though, because
he it seems that the timer activates when he gets like 2 World Breaker tokens on any one survivor. So if you spread pressure, you will still have to get 2 on that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an odd way to do it, because it's not like it's not a personal infection buildup like Nemesis. It's like Unreal marks. It's like Trickster marks, where you're using your projectile to get marks, and then those marks allow you to do more damage.
Yeah, I do want to quickly add, it wasn't included in the patch notes. However, if a survivor has 4 tokens given by the World Breaker attacks, aka Vine Attack or the Undergate, for the people who don't know, the new killer, the First, when he applies status effects, you can only get up to 4. So once you get 4, you can't get any more. So once you have 4 tokens, and you're on your 3rd hook state, aka the next time you would be hooked, you would die, and he hits you with his Vine Attack during the World Breaker event timer, you'll actually get like stunned and like lifted into the air, kind of like in the show. And the First can perform a quick Mori on you, similar to the Executioner or Onryo. So that was really weird, but also really cool, because it wasn't included at all. So when it happened, I was like, what the heck is happening? And I was like, mind break. And then they just died. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's a much faster Mori too. So very similar to like the real Vecna, I guess. The Lich is
the real Vecna,
alternate.
No, you mean the first Vecna, not Vecna, the first.
Yeah. I just start calling them purple and brown Vecna. I guess I don't know. Is that purple Vecna? I don't know. The floating one.
They're both kind of purple.
I guess they're both
tough.
Yeah. One's kind of fleshy.
Yeah.
So,
but his power is really cool. The primary attack, the Vine Attack is very fast. Like it has a very low cooldown. You can almost like just spam it back to back, but it's very hard to. It has a distance, of course. Like you can't go super far away. But it's a really cool ability. It's fun to dodge. Although sometimes when you see that red bubble up underneath you as a survivor, it's really hard to get out of it really quickly. So maybe like a bit more of a delay there. would be helpful, but
I would
found
love
him.
to see that
Yeah,
delay for when it
yeah.
shows up and when it procs, just to makes it a little harder to hit, so it's more skillful.
Yeah, or even like a smaller AOE and just a little bit time to get out of there. But yeah, it's very difficult to dodge if you're at the center of it. But it's great for like when you're vaulting things, and he times it really well. So you really have to. He's very much going to be a mind game killer, and I always find those to be kind of the most enjoyable because it skills on both parts. And so if you're having a hard time mind gaming, you might want to look up some mind gaming tips on how to do that.
For me, he kind of plays pretty similar to not Vecna. Oh my god, so much Vecna to Pinhead. One of the killers that we did lose this year, sadly. Kind of like the whole like holding M2 to place like this weird like thing, but whereas Vecna, it's like immediate. The other one is just like a projectile, but you also have like the secondary objective that will gradually build up over time. Versus like one with tokens being him, he's gonna keep spamming until he gets it. One being actually like it's gonna grow over time, and you have to kind of like balance the two because if you let him have his special state basically for too long, you kind of lose. So it's kind of interesting how we lost a killer and then kind of got like a successor to him. Because whereas Pinhead was pretty weak, this one's like comfortably B tier minimum. Some people are saying A, some are even saying S. I thought he was S at first, but after playing against him a bit more, I would say he's like B plus, maybe A minus tier. So kind of thinking like Huntress maybe, kind of like tier.
I think I agree with you 100%. Like he's like a stronger Pinhead, especially in the way that Chain Hunt and Worldbreaker kind of played. But at this time, if Chain Hunt let your chains damage, basically is the only change.
Yeah,
Vecna is a lot stronger than Huntress in my mind. Just on the like,
that's fair.
He doesn't have to reload. He has a shorter cooldown. If I think of them as hatchets, they go through walls. They have no wind up. They don't have like a sound cue that's really distinct. And especially when he's in Worldbreaker, the mode where everything damages you, you don't really hear it because there's so many other sound cues that he's got going on. He's got voice lines. Yeah. It's tough. I want to see him like still be strong, but like at the moment, I think he's just probably way, way, way strong, especially if somebody knows what they're doing with him.
It's like a little overtuned, but this is PTB, so I'm not too worried.
This is PTB. This is public test build. This is a test. This is not 100% what he's going to come out as.
Yeah, I'd be surprised because some of his Brown add-ons are legitimately better than all his other add-ons.
Very good.
Like one of them is when he leaves the little traversal power where he's in the ground and he pops up the Undergate, it will break all pallets and destroy any generators caught in the vicinity. And you can make it bigger too. So it's like
why is that not
one of these is not like that.
Yeah.
And then he has like a blue add-on that's like when a survivor is doing a grandfather clock and they are the farthest from you, you get to see their aura for like 6 seconds. It's like that's blue and then that's brown. It's like there's definitely gonna need some balancing, but it's like it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, I'll also mention with Worldbreaker event, so there are the grandfather clocks which survivors can go up to and speed through the event, make it much shorter. Yes. However, there is a last quarter of the clock that goes much slower, so you can't progress it faster. Yeah. I guess it's just so his power is not taken away completely. Us xenomorph mains know that very familiar. Like getting your power taken away from you fucking sucks. So this is kind of a counter to that, which is nice.
Yeah,
and so and activate it. It's pretty quick. It is just the 2 tokens. On one survivor.
Tokens in your end. Yeah, and it seems to be a pretty decent time if survivors don't speed up. It seems to be like 30 seconds, which is pretty decent, pretty nice. So you get 30 seconds guaranteed.
And the animation is wonderful because you go up to the grandfather clock, you grab the pair of headphones that are on it with a cassette tape attached to it, and you're like sitting there jamming next to it. It's really good. No Kate Bush, unfortunately, but that's okay. Maybe we can get that at another time. But it's a very cute animation.
Yes, it's very cute. I will say it's very funny because I only played Robin so far in the PTB, which we'll talk about Survivor cosmetics and all that in a little bit. But it's really funny because I saw I saw Robin doing that. I was like, oh, this is so cute. Now I'm wondering about like more of the like serious survivors, like Alan Wake or like Jeff doing that. And there's like
I've never seen the Stranger Things up until that point. What are they doing? What is happening with the grandfather clocks? Why a cassette tape? Why is it that one?
So in a very non-spoiler way for why these things happen, the grandfather clocks play a somewhat important role in the killer's life. And two, in the show, they find that listening to music is a good way to disrupt the First's power, their influence. I won't say why, but it is a way to like disturb his power.
Yeah. I wouldn't say grandfather clocks are that integral to the plot of Stranger Things.
Okay, there is one in, but to like the First.
Yeah. So if you don't know, the First, Vecna, also known as Henry Creel, is his real name. He is human, or was. He kind of still is, I guess. Yeah. Had a childhood home, and inside is a grandfather clock, and it's also in the upside down version. And that's kind of a big theme, just like time. Like it's time. If you've seen the last season, you know how many times he says that. But anyway, no spoilers for last season here. But season 4, he's saying like it's time a lot, and so clock is very much a theme of that season. And yeah, the music is just a way for them to escape kind of his mind prisons. And so
right, like you're still in the real world when you're in the upside down, but like they put the music on you, and then you can come out of the upside down.
Yeah, like art is an escape, right? Like that's kind of the theme that they're pushing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alrighty. So before we move on from the killer's power, I just want to make a quick comment on his bottle, because I don't know why. Half the time they do Survivor models recently, it's like really, really good or really bad. But for killers, I feel like every single killer, design-wise, that we've gotten this year has been amazing. Like Springtrap, Krasu, and now we have the First. They look amazing. Their designs are just impeccable. The cosmetics are top tier. Like they're putting their whole behavior into these killer cosmetics, and there's and I love that. Like you can see the piece of his neck that he's missing that he loses in season 4. You get to see bones that is really gnarly.
Does one of the kids like bite a piece of his neck off?
I don't remember if it was bite or
ribs.
Yeah,
they bite him. Kid bites him.
He's also got another cosmetic that he's in his like one outfit that's partially burned from from a specific situation. Yeah, it's I don't know what it's titled, but yeah, it's essentially he's in his Hawkins lab outfit when he was being experimented on, and he's partly charred for reasons I won't get into. Watch the show if you want to know, or watch that scene. But it's a really good cosmetic, and like Maddie said, the fidelity on this on just his base outfit look is just amazing. Like they got the details really well done, and even details that I didn't even really know about. Like he's got some ribs on his left side that are being exposed, which I didn't really know about in the show. I'd have to go back and rewatch, but yeah, he just looks really, really good. And even the animations, like when he goes into the upside down, he's got this like little portal that looks like the portal in the show. You know, his tentacles coming up out of the ground. Like it looks really, really good. I mean, I think the time they had with the delay and such really helped them polish this stuff. So I'm happy with it.
I do have only one minor complaint, is that he is canonically left-handed in the show.
He doesn't
let's get into this. His left hand. He attacks with his right hand, quote unquote, shoots tentacles from his right side, which is a little...
They really did not want to animate a left-handed killer, I guess.
Yeah, they did not want to do that.
Yeah, his M1's a little goofy.
You're going to be right-handed. You're going to be right-handed right now.
Oh, like he is like one of those Catholic nuns hitting you with the ruler.
Exactly.
Yeah. Stop using your left hand.
You want me to be right-handed?
I will say my one critique is his chase music. I don't think it's good at all. I think it is in metal pieces in a washer or a dryer territory. I do not like it. I think the Demogorgon slaps and is way more reminiscent of Stranger Things. I think the first chase music is just... I just don't like it. It's not good to me. I think it could be better. So maybe we'll see. And we've seen them change.
I think his terror radius sound is okay.
Yeah,
and then the
fine.
chase music kicks in, and it's very jarring.
It's giving Washer,
noisy.
You know, kind of like how Alien was, or even Skull Merchant there for a bit. So Ghostface.
I like it, but I get why it can feel kind of washery. Like, oh no, all my metal pipes are falling in the washing machine again. Oh no.
Yeah, right. It's like I didn't take all the change out of my pants when I put them in there.
Alrighty, let's move on to his perks, because he has some surprisingly decent ones. Because, not gonna lie, going into PTBs recently, I've been kind of thinking most of these are gonna suck. These don't all suck.
Yeah.
So, let's start with his first one, which is probably the funniest one. Turn back the clock. After hooking a survivor for 40, 50, or 60 seconds, press ability 1 to make the target generator within 20 meters explode, losing 10% progress and start regressing. So, you can blow up generators with your mind.
Yeah.
If you can't see,
This does require line of sight, right, Manny? We tested that earlier.
yes,
Okay.
you need line
You
of
need
sight.
line of
You
sight. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So this one I wanted to like a lot. I feel like there are circumstances where it's good, but for me, you would just use pop every single time instead. Not only does it just gives more 20% versus 10. It really does impact it. It's not worth it in my opinion to try.
Yeah, I would walk
Yes.
the extra 20 meters. Yeah, for that extra regression.
10%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
I'm curious
not
though, because you could bring pop and this one, and then that way you can pop one gen and then blow up the other one with your mind.
I mean, that is fair, but
True.
like, how many times do you have like two generators close with enough progress where it's like, okay, this is value?
I mean, yeah, no, I know what you mean. And somebody who's doing that is likely to just do Scourge Hook and pop. And
Yeah,
this
why would
perk
you just
doesn't.
use pop or something?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or some
yeah.
That's why I'm
slowdown
not
perk,
too
like
scared by
Nemesis.
this perk. It's kind of
Yeah.
funny in my brain to just like I make that thing blow up with my mind. It's not
Yeah.
really super strong, but it's a new gen perk.
Yeah, I will say it's really funny because when you use it, it does like little flames on your sides of your FOV. I don't know why it does that. I just think it's
Okay,
really funny
okay.
because it gives like Metallica, like Guitar Hero vibes when you get like a high score.
Mhm.
I don't know. I will say this perk will probably be the one that gets buffed. I don't think it's going to be 20% because everyone just uses this besides pop. I feel like what they'll do is either keep it at 10, but make it so it regresses at a faster speed, or they'll just increase it and increase the distance you can do it. That's my guess.
Yeah, my guess is the distances will be improved. 20 meters
Yeah.
is not a lot.
Maybe like 30.
Yeah. I guess an unlimited range would be broken. Or what?
I mean, you would still need a line of sight, so it's not that broken. But like, if you're on like the cornfield map and you're on one side and all the corn is like not blocking you and you see the generator, you could be like, no. And then that gen that's like 9% is now 80%. And if you're like nurse, then it's like, oh, bye bye.
True. Yeah, I forgot about higher mobility killers. That's true. Yeah.
I can only really think of a couple places and where I'm like, what if you're on elevation and you see a gen that's above you and you want to hit it, but you can't get all the way around the structure to get to the top floor, so you look up through a drop down, you blow up the gen that way.
Yeah.
I can only really think of like Greenville Theater having that line of
Yeah.
sight.
There's also kind of the complaint that this is a licensed chapter and a licensed killer, meaning you would have to pay real money to get this. Why would someone who doesn't have the clown or this guy pay real money to get this perk when he could do the clown, who's not only much cheaper, but also free? And it takes like a few hours to get the clown and get two of the best perks in the game, because you also get bamboozle.
Yeah.
Why would I
Bamboozle's
do
good.
that? Like, one is more fun and better, and the other's the clown, but like, angled
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they
Yeah,
change
yeah.
it so it's not line of sight. I think that would also make this perk a little better.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
feel
if
like
this
that would be good.
activates. Can you activate this when someone is on the gen? Did we try that out?
Yes.
I don't.
That's
it does work.
what I'm assuming
Yes.
is probably part of the interaction. It might like blow up in their hands like Surge.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did test it. I tried blast mining a gen and then them doing it remotely, and it does not stun them, unfortunately.
No,
but that makes
does
sense
not.
considering it's the blast light is on the gen and they're 20 meters out. But yeah, I thought it was
Yes.
funny to try.
Can they blind you with your blast mine if they pop your gen?
Probably.
with-
I don't know.
Probably. I wasn't near it when it happened, but maybe, yeah.
All right, this next perk I thought was bad, but after reading it, this sounds kind of fun. When a totem, or this perk is called Secret Project, sorry. When a totem is blessed or cleansed, block a random generator for 20, 25, 30 seconds. Like, okay, not great, but this is where it gets kind of fun. When one or more generators become blocked, you gain undetectable for 30 seconds. Now, let's be honest, that first effect, not really great. You're giving up a perk slot for if someone blesses or cleanses a totem. You get 30 seconds of a block gen and 30 seconds of Insidious. Not great. But that second part is really funny. Because if you have Dead Man Switch, Thrilling Tremors, Corrupt Intervention, you're getting 30 seconds of Undetectable every single time. That's fun. I like this perk a lot. It's got a weak effect, but a really fun second effect that you can build around. Because I love perks that you can build around. Like Pentimento, you can build around that. Devour Hope, you can build around that. All Deer Stalker and like Slugging, not great, but you could build around that. Not great, not a good example. But this perk I really like because it's like gen blocking Insidious value. I like that. This is fun. I like it. How about you guys?
This is cool. Like you bring Corrupt on Trapper, and now you're just a stealth killer at the beginning.
Exactly.
You have 30 seconds of stealth if you bring Corrupt. You can mix this, I think, pretty well with other gen blocking perks, but I do think you're intended to use this as like a retribution. You use this with other hexes. That way, when your hexes get cleansed, eventually it's not as bad because now you're getting little buffs. You're seeing which random gens are getting blocked, and then you're saying, okay, maybe that one had survivors on it and I can go sneak up to them.
We'll say the only downside to that first part is a random generator. So it could be a gen with no progress.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be blocking gens at 0 very frequently. They're not going to touch a gen until they cleanse all your hexes, and then once they cleanse all your hexes, you would have blocked gens at 0% anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and if you want to make your hex build even nastier, or I guess slow it down from being cleansed, you could add the Dracula perk where it blocks totems and chests, I think, when they're first interacted with, further slowing down any cleansing or totems. In addition to this,
slowing down blessing too, because it'll dominance on a dull totem as well, so they can't bless it faster.
Yeah,
a lot of good combos with this perk for sure.
Yes, so I'm really excited to play with that. Next perk for the killer and the last one he brings is Hex Hive Mind. The first time you hook any survivor, a dull totem will become a hex totem. Generators are highlighted. The intensity of generator auras reveals their repair progress. When one generator remains, however, all remaining regenerators explode, losing 6, 8, or 10% progress and start regressing, and then this hex totem becomes dull. Honestly, this perk does a lot. At first, I thought it was kind of bad. The more I think about it, this perk is actually pretty good. Because not only does it give an effect that only iridescent add-ons give, like the Legion's Pin or like Springtrap's Purple Man drawing. No, not that Purple Man drawing. Bonnie's Guitar, which also disables a part of your power, which is the undetectable going down from like 15, 12 to like 2 seconds. So this is just for hooking a survivor. It activates. You also get the benefit
this
of...
is Great Soul Seeing add-on, iridescent on a hex.
And this is just a hex perk. So that's awesome. And you get so much info from it. But more importantly, if it still stays up, if survivors don't care about it, because they get notified as soon as it goes up. As soon as it goes up, they get the notification, it's this perk. Mm-hmm. If they don't care about it, and there's one gem remaining, this Hexstorm will break, and it will make all the remaining generators pop. So if someone's like 50%, they're starting the last generator as the second to last generator pops, it all pops. You know where everyone is. You know where to go. You know where the danger is. It's really nice, I think. Like, it's not amazing, but it's a lot better than I thought. I think this is like a solid B tier perk, which is pretty nice. So,
I see this as definitely a great learning perk. If you're somebody who's like, oh, gens keep flying, I don't know what to do, bring this one. It'll probably slow them down at least a little bit once they realize there's a hex in play. They won't do gens as quickly if they know how far along their gen is. They're going to be worried you're going to come for them all the time. But you use that to your advantage. You actually just go to the gen you see that gets started work immediately. You make value out of it. It does pop when it gets to 1 gen, but that's so you can't really hold a 3 gen with this perk, because imagine this perk nestled away in a corner and the killer just knows as soon as you touch any of the last 3 gens. It'd be too strong.
Yeah, pairing this with like pop and then going to those generators that have a lot of progress on them is a good combo. This is a cool perk. It's cool that it becomes, it's kind of, it activates upon hooking someone, whereas a lot of totems, like they're at the beginning. They're just there, which I know is a big complaint with just running totems in general. Like that's the risk you run is Devour being cleansed before you even hook someone. So, that I think all Hex totems should have some kind of activation like that. That I don't think they should be spawned immediately. Like, but I get it. Devour is a very strong perk, and that's the risk you run when running those things. So paired with other things, this could be really good. And I'm excited to try it out myself.
Hey, alrighty, that is the first perks. So power perks. He seems pretty strong. His perks seem decent. Finally, a good killer with decent perks. Yes!
Yeah, he's very fun to play as and against. We played against him a lot today, and I was shocked at how much fun I was having playing against him. Like more so than Creel, more so than Springtrap. Like he's just a lot of fun. I love playing against Springtrap, but I just really love playing against this killer more, in my opinion. Like he's just so fun, and I'm excited to play more.
Yeah. So that is the first. So let's get into one of our 2 survivors. And we're going to start with our girl boss, Jane 11 Hopper, or how the game just calls her 11.
Yeah, I don't like that. I wish they had Jane Hopper instead with the 11 in the center. Anyway, I digress.
I'm assuming it's just so for people who've never seen the show, they're like, oh, it's her. It's 11. Yeah. So let's get into her perks, because her perks are pretty interesting, and dare I say, she's got really good perks. So, her first perk is Extrasensory Perception. After crouching for 4 seconds, you see auras in an expanding radius up to 44 meters. Gain Elusive and Oblivious. When you stop crouching, or after 11 seconds, this perks enter a 60, 50, 40 second cooldown. And I should add that when this perk activates and it shows the auras of survivors and killer, it also shows the auras of objects. The game doesn't really explain what these are, but this includes generators, chests, pallets, and totems. So, pretty decent all around. And of course, 11 seconds. Ha 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 ha. It's 11. Boy, what are the thoughts on this perk?
It's really good. It gives you a lot of information, and you only have to crouch for 4 seconds. There's no other activation. There is no just generators. It is just all auras for 44 seconds, for 11 seconds. And then all you have to be is crouching for 4. Like, it's incredible how much information this gives you. I would recommend this perk maybe to any new players, for information purposes. This is just, it's a lot. It's really good, I think. Like, especially.
It's also kind of a, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to add, it's also kind of a good anti-tunneling perk, because you gain the elusive status effect. So your aura is blocked, you don't leave bloodstains, and you don't make any noises, you don't leave scratch marks, you're basically invisible. So it's also a good way. So if you can like break line of sight, like off the record or something.
I was going to say off the record would be perfect.
You're gone. They can't find you. You're invisible. And also, can we just compare this to Road Life? Road Life is like, when you're injured working on a generator and you hit 3 natural grade skill checks, you gain 100% healing speed on other people. And this one's crouched for 4 seconds. It's so crazy. Bad.
Yeah, they really simplified, I think. All of these perks, I think, are pretty simple. I think Dustin has maybe like more complex ones, but yeah, they're really straightforward and simple. And I'm shocked at how kind of interesting and fun they are.
Yeah, Stevie, thoughts?
The fun activation also helps me think that this was intended to be a new player ability, because new players frequently crouch around the map and try not to be seen. And this will be a great perk for doing what you already do. So it's probably you won't have as much use of it as somebody who's learning the map, and somebody who just doesn't know where anything is and hasn't seen the killer all game and is scared. This is the perk for them that they're naturally gonna equip when they first play the game a month from now. And they bought the game because they know it has 11 in it now.
Like 11. Oh my god.
So keep this perk on if you're new to the game.
Exactly. You will love it. Trust me. Next perk. This one is kind of the opposite. Where the last one was for newer players, I feel like this is for more experienced players. That being, we see you. When the killer reveals your aura, you gain a token. When you have 4 tokens, spend all tokens, and you and other survivors see the killer's aura for 10, 12.5, and 15 seconds. this perk has a 10-second cooldown. Now, on its own, not that great. When you pair it up with perks, though, it can be game-changing. Like Object of Deception, which is going to be 3, by the way, in a couple weeks, where it reveals your aura to the killer every 30 seconds and vice versa. So you'll be getting a stack every 30 seconds, and then eventually you get to reveal the killer's aura for free. So it goes from anti-aura beating to I'm going to find you. I'm going to your house. Open the door and let me... Okay, sorry. You get the point. It's supposed to be like anti-aura reading, but it can be played aggressive, especially for more experienced players and like survival threats. And I like that. I like how there's 2 ways to play this perk. Thoughts, ladies?
It with Object, I don't think it'll be that strong. It's not making Object any stronger than it is.
Yeah.
And when Object procs that 4th time and reveals your aura to the killer for the 4th time, it'll overlap the aura reading with Object itself. So even though it'll reveal the killer's aura to all your teammates, you're still seeing the killer off Object. So it's not so game-changing with a perk like Object. Our Object's already not super strong, but a great perk.
Yeah. Bresson?
Maddie, you mentioned running this because when I first read the patch notes this morning, I go, that does not look good. Why would you run that? You essentially have to hope the killer has aura reading. And then Maddie said, oh, run it with Object. And I was like, oh my God. Put it on, put a build on, threw this together, this and Object. Y'all, this might be a build for me. Like these 2 perks at least. I loved it. I loved it so much. It's just great information for the whole team. Like we had a Swift today. We were playing. We all already had a lot of information. But even while I'm in chase with Object and that 4th token is consumed and I'm seeing him for 15 seconds, like it's just so, I just thought it was really a great information perk. Like I loved it. And I've actually been running Object in my normal build with Shoulder the Burden and some other stuff that I've been trying to just shake up my build because it's been the same for so long. I like it a lot. Like, yes, I'm not always in chase, but I feel like I'm escaping more, or I'm just kind of like getting a better I don't know, grasp on the situation of the match or how it's going. And I'm loving it so much. But yeah, with We See You, I am really loving it because I'm not only benefiting from it. I can't say that word. I don't know why. I'm also benefiting the team, which I really enjoy. And people kept commenting like, wow, 15 seconds is a really long time. It is. And I'm worried it's going to get nerfed. But if it stays how it is, I'll absolutely run it regularly because it was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah. So that is 11's second perk. And now we move on to our last perk, which is a new teamwork perk again. Slay. And that is Teamwork Soft Spoken. For each survivor working on a generator with you, the range at which generator repair noise is heard is reduced by 15, 20, 25%. While repairing with at least one other survivor, gain 5 repair progress. Not really much to know. However, I will get back to this perk specifically when we go to Dustin, because there is kind of another perk like it. So hold on to your hats, ladies, listeners, and viewers. So we're moving on directly to Dustin Henderson, who, by the way, we need to talk about his model. So good. So amazing. Like 11's was pretty good. Like I would say it's pretty accurate, but Dustin's is so good. So accurate to the show. And I love they put in the extra effort to give him a unique model different from the other male characters. I love that attention to detail. He looks amazing. I love him so much. And his perks are also really good.
Mm-hmm. I think something like that was coming for a while, right? Like a new survivor using new rigs, and they're just actually playing with the body shapes that they can.
Exactly.
I think in-game, does he just go back to the default male rig? Is that a bug, or is that
default male rig? Yeah,
it's just for balance.
Yeah, but it's just nice that they didn't make him as tall as the other male characters, because in the Dead by Daylight universe, for some reason, if you're a guy, you're all the same height, and if you're a woman, you're all the same height.
Yeah.
So to actually see them have different heights is really nice and refreshing, especially for Dustin. Now, let's get into those perks. We're starting off with his I forgot the perk name for this one. Bada Bada Boom.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a funny name, but that's okay. Basically, it is Chemtrap, but for Windows. After completing 20% of a generator, press the Ability 1 button next to a window to trap it for 40, 50, and 60 seconds. The trap triggers when the killer vaults it. They are inflicted with 50% hindrance for 6 seconds. So it's exactly like Chemtrap, but instead of a pallet, it's a window. And they actually did change the trap because we're on the pallet. It looks like sci-fi because it's Ellen Ripley, who's from the future. For Dustin, who's in the 1980s, it's kind of like a mixed match of like house products and like an analog clock. And I thought that was really cute. Attention to detail, even if it looks really goofy on a window, because it kind of looks like it's no clipping. Anyways, I do really like the perk. It's really fun. It's just Chemtrap for Windows. Running it with Chemtrap is really funny because you're just throwing traps at the killer every 2 seconds. Like, bullshit go, bullshit go, bullshit go.
Yeah, so I tried running it today. I just couldn't get it to activate. The killers would look at me like, "What are you doing?" Because it is very obvious it's on the window.
No one's vaulting windows on the PTB. Like,
yeah,
people know this is a perk, right?
And
no one's
I had this conversation with
know.
Maddie too. Is with Chemtrap, pallets are almost always there are stronger pallets than there are windows, and because pallets you have to break, you can get rid of them, and so a lot of times they're forced to break that pallet. Whereas a window, unless you're running Bamboozle, you're running maybe a window focused killer that can benefit from those, like Xenomorph or the other Vecna, who can fly through them. I don't think you should vault like ever, unless you're running Bamboozle. But like otherwise, keep momentum, get that bloodlust.
They bam, you boom.
Yeah.
Bada boom.
And it's also, I thought it was going to be a little more incognito, like Blast Mine is, and it's just like straight up on the window seal there, and it's like it's so big. I was like, it was really massive. So I don't know, maybe if you have a situation where you could do Chemtrap on Shack Pallet and then the window trap, you could do a wombo combo.
Boom the window, trap the pallet.
Yeah, so maybe something like that. But I just couldn't get the trigger today.
And we don't have like the old god windows that we used to have in this game, so you can't Chemtrap a window. You can't boom trap a window that needs to be vaulted, or else they don't get you.
It's actually bada boom. You got to say the whole thing.
I'm just saying boom. I'm just saying boom because there's Bamboozle and boom. So bam and boom.
Yeah,
I mean
the window perks.
Bada boom. Anyways, let's move on. Let's change the plans, aka change of plans from Dustin. So you start the trial with 2 tokens, and when you enter a locker with a non-event toolbox, you can press the Ability to button and consume a token to transform it into a medkit of the same rarity with a random add-on of the same rarity to those add-ons. The new medkit has 80, 90, 100% of its charges. And to clarify, if you have a toolkit and you use the entire thing, all the charges are depleted, and you go into a locker, you will get the 80, 90%, 100 charges for the medkit. So, honestly, at first I was like, that's kind of bad. And then I read it and tested it out, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually really good. Because what you can do is bring in a really good toolbox, do brand new part and like a purple add-on or a blue add-on, do that, go to a locker immediately, press the ability key button, immediately get out, and now you have a purple medkit for the rest of the game, and you gotta use a brand new part. It's kind of broken. Thoughts, ladies?
I think it's no stronger than like Built to Last, right? If you brought Built to Last on that same generator smashing toolbox, you'd be guaranteed to kind of clean up a little bit more gen progress. But it's like Pharmacy rolled into it, where you've already scavenged one chest and you don't know how to use toolboxes. You're a new player. You just want the med kit. Here, have the one you wanted. Reroll your item.
Yeah, Bryson, thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is actually kind of a strong perk because you're essentially getting 2 items in one. Like you just mentioned, Maddie, you could bring in a brand new part, hit, really quickly finish a gen. Maybe you're wounded or you're about to go for a save afterwards. Get in that. Do you have to get in the locker for this?
Yes,
you have to get in the locker. Get in the locker for it, and then go get that save, and then you have much faster healing now if you're not running a healing perk. And with them kind of, I don't want to say gutting med kits, but they definitely nerfed them in the last update with the add-on Eerie add-on changes. I think this is I think this is pretty good. Like it's definitely worth getting in a locker for, which I don't think is a common thing I would ever say. Like I don't think getting a locker is ever worth your time or effort, but like it's really cool. I could see this maybe getting a little nerfed where you don't get all those charges and maybe you get like, and then the max is 80 70. Maybe, or 75. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Maybe they quarter it, but it's a really unique perk and super on brand for Dustin, I think.
Yeah, I will say I don't hope it gets nerfed too much, because thinking about it a bit more, I feel like this is a really good solo queue. And also, sadly, a Survivor Friends tool. Like, more so for solo queue, just because you have a bit of gen efficiency, and then you can get self-reliance and not have to worry about your teammates. And Survivor Friends, it's just really good in general, because Survivor Friends, let's be real here. I will say, though, really quickly, you don't have to worry too much about lockers, because as soon as you're in the locker, you just press F and it's done. You don't have to wait or anything. Nice. So you go in, press F, leave. So it's like 10...
crafting flashbang, right? You just kind of one to another. Alchemy.
Yeah. I will say the token thing is a little bit weird. I don't know really why it's there. I would just make it a one-time thing. Like, maybe there's a reason
but now it has 2 uses. Now it's got 2 tokens. It's got 2 uses.
If I were to nerf anything, I would just make it so it's a one-time use, and then it's just deactivated for the rest of the trial. That's me personally. I feel like the 2 token thing is a little weird. That's just me. Let's move on, ladies, to Dustin's final perk, and the reason why we kind of skipped 11's perk discussion, that being teamwork full circuit. For each other survivor repairing a generator with you, the size of the good skill check is increased by 15, 20, and 25%. If one other survivor is working with you on that generator, you gain 5% generator repair speed. So if you have both of these perks, you're not only getting a greater good skill check size window, you're also getting reduced generator noise, and with both perks, 10%. And someone did the math, sorry, DBD items on my mind. If you're doing the math and you have these perks and like quick gambit, deja vu, other stuff, you can get up for at max possible like gen progress speed bonus, like stuff, 36% per survivor. So if you have 2 survivors, that is 72% gen repair speed on one generator. And reminder, it's like a 16% penalty if 2 survivors work on the same gen. So that goes to like, oh god, I can't do math. Hold on, ladies. Hold on.
Yeah, we're doing math on the podcast. Everyone, we're doing math on a podcast.
Generator progress. So that's kind of crazy. Like, yeah, that's kind of hard to pull off. That's not going to happen. But like, just having these base perks, and if you pair that with like prove thyself, you can start doing gens really quickly. And I feel like it's not going to really matter when the game hits live. You thought I was going to say it's going to be like, whoa, it's going to make Gen Rush meta. No, because every time we get a new Gen Rush perk, we get like a little bit of it, and then it goes away. Like, remember Hyper Focus, and everyone's like, oh my god, Hyper Focus is going to break the game. Everyone's going to
ruin everything. Everyone's going to cheat. Yep.
And then no one uses it anymore. I feel like this is going to be the same, especially since it takes up a perk slot, and you have to have another teammate. So if you don't have Better Together, which shows your aura to everyone, or Survivor Friends, it kind of does nothing. So I feel like these perks are fine. They sound kind of crazy, but I think they're decent. I think they're very mid. A solid 6/5 out of 10 for me. Thoughts, ladies?
The
6 out of 10 is good.
Yeah, and the skill checks are huge. I saw them, and they're comically large. They're massive. It's hilarious. It's so funny. It's like half of the.
Yeah, it was like half the circle was a good skill check.
Half the circle. I was cackling looking at them, and then you have like this whole giant good skill check, and you have this like tiny little great skill check area, which is hilarious. But yeah, teamwork perks have never really been great. This one, the requirement is much less. You're not healing someone. All you're going to be doing is another generator with someone. I think these will be much more useful because the requirement is just so low. You'll definitely see these more in like duos. Maybe not a full Swift, but I will stand on the hill is like when you're starting a match, go your separate ways and do your own different gens. You will have way more leverage as a survivor that way. This is really only going to be great for in-game when you're probably working on a gen with someone else, and that 5% or that 10% is really going to kick in. And it might turn the tide of the game of someone getting out. So, yeah, but teamwork perks have never I've seen them used successfully a few times in my killer games or even survivor games, but yeah, they're just never one to break the seal. They're kind of like boons and invocations at this point.
Yeah, I will say I feel like the greatest downfall of like teamwork perks is that if they're too strong, survivor friends go rampant. But they have to be strong enough that solo queue will actually try and go for it. Because if they're not strong, no one's going to use it, including solo queue, which is kind of what they're trying to go for, I think, with these teamwork perks, or at least a duo. But if you put it in like a survivor friends, it could be awful if they're good, quote unquote. So that's why I feel like these bars are like very generic with generic bonuses. Like, if you're a parent group of friends, get 5%. It's like, it's not good enough, but it's decent. Yeah, and before we move on from the survivors, they did get some cosmetics. Dustin weirdly got a legendary skin that turns him into Eddie. That's not weird. What's weird is that it completely changes his model to the normal male model. And I feel like they should have gone to Steve, who's also in Stranger Things, because it's weird, because 11 only got one skin, and the new legendary skin that turns the character into Robin went to Nancy, and not 11. Who are the same height, by the way. They don't have a unique height. They're the same height. So it's just really weird that Dustin got it, but not Steve.
It might be a strategic reason because they're probably going to guess a lot more people are going to have Nancy because it left, it came back. Nancy's a very popular survivor. And it's like, okay, well, I already own Nancy. I don't have to buy the new outfit, but they can get money easier. If you already have Nancy, it's like, okay, I'm just going to buy the Robin outfit. That's all I want as of now. And then later you can buy 11.
Yes. I will say we got all this. We got all the new characters, and we got skins for the new survivors, and we got skins of new characters, but we didn't get new skins for old characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we didn't get any new Nancy or Steve skins, but I think those are coming later.
I was gonna say, I feel like those are
if we got all the new characters right now. Now we're going to wait a little bit. It's going to drop. We're going to get the full live release with new skins that we didn't see in this PTB, including for the old survivors. It's my assumption.
Hopper legendary skin?
Hopper, please. I need a Hopper. Behavior, if you listen to this podcast. I will do anything for a Hopper outfit, please. I mean anything. Literally anything. Just give me Hopper, please. I need Hopper. I will say though, I am a bummed. I was really bummed learning that Hopper was not going to be in this, but I am super satisfied with how this chapter has turned out so far. Playing it has been really good. It's polished. I'm shocked. There weren't really any bugs. I didn't experience any bugs with perks or Vecna's abilities. He just seems really well polished, and I'm excited. I've not been excited this long in a chapter in a while. Granted, we've not had a chapter in a while, but I wasn't super excited for the Creel. I thought she was fine. And yeah, I'm really stoked for this chapter. Really am.
Yeah. Reminder, we haven't had a chapter since October, so it's been a while.
I know. And that is also partly maybe why I'm deprived. You know, the last season of Stranger Things is over. So, but yeah, they did an exceptional job. Models look great. You know, the voice acting is good. You know, all the characters are going to get voice lines. Not really sure who's voicing who. So we'll find out when that happens, when it releases. But the BTB, they currently don't have voice lines other than Vecna, who is voiced by that actor, and I don't know his name off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but they're very good voice lines. Very good voice lines. He sounds wonderful.
Exactly. Now let's move on to the balance changes. Balance changes.
What balance changes?
Oh, all of them? All the balance changes that happened? Oh, yeah.
There's none. That was all the mainline stuff. Which
it was just new content.
Honest, I'm glad they polished the DLC. I am a little disappointed there was nothing else. Like, not even, like, perk adjustments for, like,
I was going to say, what would you want in some balance changes for this?
Honestly, for me, I would like to see some changes to, like, lesser used perks to, like, maybe up their numbers a bit, just to see if that changes. For, like, perks that haven't been changed before. So maybe, like, Huntress's Lullaby, Beast of Prey, stuff like that. Or maybe, like, one of the two compromise perks from Springtrap and the Singularity. Yeah. Or if I look at the Survivor side, maybe, I don't know, making road life good. I know.
No.
Concept. I know. But yeah, it would be nice if we saw some more number changes, like small little tweaks just to see if they're nice. But I get why they didn't do that, and they focused strictly on Stranger Things, even if I'm disappointed. And even if they did balance changes for 2v8 instead, which we're going to get into. Because if you don't know, listeners, through January 8th to, I think, the 11th, there is going to be a 2v8 in the PTB to balance,
Yeah.
to try out these new changes and balances. So that's, I think, a first. So that's really cool. So why don't we get into the 2v8 changes? So, first thing off the bat, super amazing, Chucky, aka the good guy, will be added as a playable character in 2v8. He has some minor adjustments, which appears to be near buffs. Slice and dice turn speed has been increased by 10%. Hidey Ho modes has its uptime increased. Hidey Ho mode uptime has been increased by 15%. Performing a scamper under a pallet breaks it immediately, so it becomes that one iridescent add-on, but you don't get knocked out of your power. The good guy can now see illusory footprints near survivors, and slice and dice duration has been increased by 50%. So, all around, big buffs for the little guy. He's going to be slaughtering people.
Big buffs for the little guy.
Yep, buffs for the little guy. Good
The
job,
good
little
buffs.
bro. Good buffs, yes. But that's not the only thing they're adding to 2v8. They're also adding herbs again, or they have been renamed to tonics. So if you don't know, in the Resident Evil themed 2v8, they added a new gameplay item called herbs, where if survivors interacted with them, they could heal, or if they got one of the rare ones, take away hug state. These have been left exactly as is, but now they're tonics. So one tonic will heal you or take away hug state. However, the killers can now take these guys too. So for the weaker one, which is the diluted tonic, survivors get the health state back, but killers gain haste for 20 seconds. However, if you get the purified tonic as survivor, you lose a hook state, but killer, they gain a 10% hook state for them and their teammate for 20 seconds. So slightly stronger than the last one. So you want to try and get these tonics as much as possible and eat them up.
I'm really glad they're bringing those back. They were so fun. And
Yes.
just added like that normal part of, resetting and interacting with the balance of, who's weak and who's like surviving the end of the trial. People can actually like express their map knowledge and find these.
So if you
no
get
totems
tunneled out by like a Wesker,
sucks.
you have a chance now.
Yes.
You have a chance.
Yeah. Getting tunnel out of 2v8 always sucked. So these new tonics are really helpful for those individuals. Hopefully they can find them. I think there was really only ever 2 of the yellow herbs, which is the one that removed your hook state. So it's still good. Removing 2 hook states, I don't think it's terrible. And this seems really cool. I like that they're adding more things to shake up survivor gameplay, right? Because I think that for a while has been pretty stale in 2v8.
Yes.
And this is one good way to do it, kind of like power-ups almost. And maybe we'll add different types of items later on.
Exactly. Speaking of shake-ups for the survivor side, we're actually getting a brand new class, that being the one called Torchbearer. Its class skill is that you start with a flashlight of uncommon rarity, so I believe that is a green flashlight. Your class skill charges over 60 seconds and will grant you a flash grenade when fully charged. And this behaves like an ability, not an item. So it doesn't take up an item slot. So it's not going to be like a flash grenade from Leon's perk. It's just an ability. But it acts like the same exact thing as Leon's flash grenade. So as soon as you press your ability button, which is ability button 2, you're going to drop a flash grenade, and then it goes on cooldown for 60 seconds. So you're blinding people left and right. Bam, bam, bam. Now, you also have an info skill where survivors in chase have their aura revealed to you within 32 meters, and if you point your flashlight at a killer for 0.5 seconds, you reveal the killer to everyone for 2 seconds. In addition to all of that, you have your unlockable skill where you grant endurance to survivors you pick up from the dying state, and injured survivors that unhook you gain endurance. So you're very much a confrontational class. So where everyone else is kind of more passive or away, you're chasing the killer. You're killing them. Well, not killing them, distracting them. You are the aggressor. You are attacking. You are blinding people. So if you're in Survivor Friends, this might be for you.
This will probably be the most popular class, other than Escapists, because Escapists kind of seem to be the most popular. But now that you don't have to go to a chest or look through 4 chests or 5 or whatever it is, looking for a flashlight, hoping you'll find a flashlight instead of worn out tools. This is great. I'm going to be running this as Alan Wake because, of course, very on brand.
Lore Wake.
Yeah, that's why I run a flashlight with Wake every time. I might not use it, but lore-wise, I legally have to. But yeah, this is a really cool class. I'm really excited to see another class for survivors. I hope to add another one down the line, maybe with totems or something. It would be really cool. But this is a great step towards that to kind of juice it up a little bit.
Yeah, so that's basically everything that's being added, not changed. However, really quickly, they are adding 2 new maps to the rotation. So these are expanded maps, and that is Groaning Storehouse from the Macmillan round and Rotten Fields from Cold Wind, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. It's already pretty big. I feel like it has the space naturally to fit 10 people.
Oh my god, those cornfields are going to be massive. Massive. So let's go over some of the balance changes, and then I think we're done for this episode. Sorry, ladies. So let's look at these balance changes. First, with Nemesis, he's the only other killer, I believe, who got any changes at all, besides the one that got added. And that is, now in a trial, you have 4 zombies instead of 2. So Jane and Joe now have their siblings, Jester and Jill. Yeah.
There you
go. Zombie movement speed has been increased by 35%. So these guys are going to be chasing you now.
Yeah.
They're not going to be...
Do you think they made new zombies, or it's just going to be 2 of the male zombies, 2 of the female zombies?
It's probably going to be 2 male, 2 female, yeah. This is 2v8. They're not going
to... I wish it rolled random and you could have like 4 of the same one.
That'd be cool.
Oh my god, you could have a girly squad and they're just chasing down like the Meg, like, must destroy.
Cheerleader zombies.
Literally.
What if they make them look like, because the current ones we have are kind of like zombified Meg and zombified Dwight. It'd be cool if they did like a...
close.
They could do like a zombified Nia and Jake would be kind of cool, you know? Different clothing a little bit. I doubt it, but they're probably just copies of the other 2.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Maybe they have 2 new unique ones. Probably not, but imagine.
I'd hope so. I want that.
I will also say, before we move on from killer changes, I would have loved to have seen 2 other killer changes, that being Oni. I think Oni is extremely strong in 2v8. I think he needs nerf just a tiny bit. I just think he's popping power after power after power constantly, and that just makes him a really, really good killer. And last 2v8, I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little sick of this. Almost on Legion territory, but not quite. We'll see how this time goes. And then another one is Deathslinger. Deathslinger is just sorely... we were talking about it before we started recording, Stevie. Give him 2 shots. That'd be cool. But Deathslinger sorely needs a buff in 2v8. Yeah. He's just not a good killer in that mode.
Yeah. Honestly, I would love his iridescent coin add-on to be base kit in 2v8, where if you hit him a certain distance, they're exposed. They'll go down no matter what. That would be fun.
That would be cool.
Yes. And your ally could just come by and be like, whack, boom, you're gone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. We're going to move on to the class changes, which we have 3 killer class changes being changed, which is kind of huge, and 1 survivor class. We'll start with the survivor one, because it's only 1, that being Scout. Their unlockable skill has changed. So now you gain an increased walking speed by 25%. You make no grunts of pain while injured, and the change is that you're immune to screaming now. So that's pretty nice. You're not going to be screaming your head off every 2 seconds. And they're not going to be finding you, like, if someone's causing you to scream. There's no doctor, but you're going to be immune from screaming.
I think this is a step towards that.
It'll make sense, because a lot of the other changes are around, like, some screaming abilities for the killers.
Yes, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm going to talk about my favorite one last. So we're going to start with Fearmonger. So with the Fearmonger class, you gain 5% haste when you're unseen. Injuring any survivor by any means causes 2 survivors within 12 meters of the survivor to scream, revealing their auras to your teammate for 2 seconds. Then you have a 60-second cooldown when haste bonus is not being applied. So, pretty decent. I think the new ability of like causing multiple survivors to scream and then you ally gain information is cool. It's fun. It's quirky. Love it. Moving on quickly, we have the Enforcer. You gain 3% haste when chasing an injured survivor. I didn't include haste in the notes. It's just a 3%. You gain 3% something. When hitting a survivor, they receive the Enforcer's mark, which both you and your teammate can see. So this one has been pretty popular, I'd say, in the last 2v8s, but it kind of got boring after a while, which is why they leaded to this change, where survivors with the mark show their aura for 1 second every 8 seconds for 45 seconds. Downing the survivor marked consumes the mark and increases the lunge distance of the Enforcer by 60% for 15 seconds, and additionally, you have a 60-second cooldown when haste bonus is not applied. So overall, pretty decent. I don't know how popular this class will be. Like maybe for like Wraith or Chucky, this will be pretty popular, or any stealth killer, maybe like Spirit. But like I feel like for everyone else, it's not going to be used.
Yeah, you're getting value out of hit and run.
I was using this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now we'll get to the last one, and then we can talk about all these changes. Is the Brute. This is probably my favorite one. I'm probably going to be playing this one because it's so funny. Break action speed is increased by 25%. Kicking a generator weakens it, and that will highlight it in a yellow aura versus the normal red. The next time a survivor repairs the highlighted generator past the regression point, it will explode, causing a loud noise notification and spewing smoke, hindering the survivor for 12 seconds. You literally ash baby the survivor. 60-second cooldown when break action speed up bonus is not applied. Alright, let's talk about these. I loved Root. It's so funny. You literally just strike someone like, stop! Get off my gen!
Yeah, I think that one will see a lot more play because gen speed is already really fast in 2v8. Yeah. I think this is a good way to counteract that and maybe slow down gens a bit more than they already kind of are. And then the other ones are kind of cool. Enforcer sounds a lot of fun with Wraith, with a hit and run kind of tactic, or Chucky or Ghostface, those more stealthy killers. So yeah, super excited to try these out. And I'm glad they're putting these in the PTB before they come to a live version. That way we can tweak them. With these many changes, I think a PTB is necessary. That way the next iteration of 2v8 isn't muddled with all these balancing problems. So, and then they don't have to do them on the fly right then and there.
Yeah. Stevie, thoughts?
I'd like these changes. I'm probably not the biggest 2v8 fan, but I like these changes. I think they're fun, and they're gonna make it look interesting to play. I haven't played 2v8 Killer, so I don't know how interactive these are, but
it really seem fun on your teammate. But for me, it's pretty fun because I can just kind of nod to my friend and they're like, yeah. Or then we do like a 2-chap and it's really fun. But most of the time, you're just kind of like walking by them. You're like, hey, Paul. Hi, Maddie. And then boom, we hit somebody. Bye, Paul. Bye, Maddie. And then we see each other like 5 more times during the trial and that's it. But it's so fun. It's super fun. I love it. I love 2v8. 2v8, my beloved. Mwah.
Maybe
now
once they add a pig.
If they add pig, maybe. Then she has 8 bear traps and I can put them all on one person.
What if it's a Saw themed 2v8 and they add like a legendary cosmetic that changes the pig to Hoffman?
That'd be cool.
If maybe.
Maybe.
You tempted me. Maybe
you'll play 2v8.
That is the end of today's episode. Listeners, viewers, I would like to thank you for your support. Don't forget to send us an email, follow us on our socials, share the podcast with someone you love, someone you hate, maybe someone in between. And if you would like to, make sure to join our Discord, link in the description. Thank you, Bryson. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, listeners and viewers, and we'll see you in the vlog next week. Love you guys, and Happy New Year. So nice to see you.
Thank you, Matt.